Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a very warm welcome to the 2019 D1NZ National Drifting Championship here, Max Motors Family Speedway, of course the Thunderdome, brought to us by NZ Vapor. We're at the back of the car, and that's the place that Matty Hill will be wanting everyone to see at the end of the weekend.
Yes, we want to keep the car together this time. I think last season it was a bit rough in the first round, but look, we're doing good so far. The car's driving really well, just working on tyre pressures and getting set up for qualifying.
So let's not talk about the first round this season. Let's talk about the first round last season here, Wellington, the first time you wore the big number one.
Mate, it was unbelievable. Had a great time. A goal that I set myself for a long time to finish on the podium, to qualify first and finish first and be the first international in New Zealand to do that. I'm absolutely stoked with that. I want to come back this season and turn it up a bit more and hopefully get on that top step on the podium at the end of the championship.
Drifting is a sideways evolution from traditional motorsports. Each driver competes for points given out by a select panel of judges. The three major scoring criteria are line, angle and style. Together they form a score out of 100. Line is a racing line marked out by clipping points. Drivers need to consistently hit these areas to score maximum points. Angle is how much rear slip angle a car produces. Competitors need to engage as much opposite steering lock as possible to receive a higher score. Style is a combination of driving technique, showmanship, brake application, throttle control and overall driver ability. Teams and drivers have 2 laps in qualifying to start the competition. The top qualifiers move through into a seeded battle tree, battling through each bracket until the top 4 drivers compete for the final podium. A drift battle requires each driver to take turns leading and chasing. The lead driver's objective is to match or better their performance in qualifying. The chase car's objective is to get as close as possible to the rear quarter of the leading car, using it as a mobile clipping point. The judges' lineup for the 2019 season features a wealth of experience as Brendan Dunker returns as line judge. More than 15 years in the sport, a D1NZ veteran and series technical advisor with 35 points up for grabs. Dan Mackey is back again, based out of Sydney with the High-Tech Drift Australia Series, another driver with more than 15 years experience. He's been a drift judge since 2013, as well as joining the lineup for the annual International Drift Challenge as part of World Time Attack. Our third and final judge for the weekend is D1NZ veteran Nick T-Boone, joining the lineup as style judge for round 2 in Wellington, filling in for Adam Richards. More than 15 years in the sport and a keen driver behind the wheel of an AE86. Well, round 2 of the 2019 D1NZ season brings us to New Zealand's capital, where Max Motors Family Speedway is transformed into a custom drift course for the 2-day event. That's right, we're in Wellington this weekend as the road to the championship begins, and it's another concrete line drift course to contend with for more than 60 teams and drivers competing. Let's take a look at the track layout. It's a standing start off the line. The approach angle into the big turn 1 sweeper is a bit tighter than the straight run-up that you would have seen at round 1 Bay Park. A long outside zone to start the course. That is where the rear of the car needs to be to score maximum points. From here they come off the sweeper through into the midsection. Judges are looking for a fast race line to bring the rear of the car out onto a small outside clipping zone, and from here it's a big aggressive switch onto an outside clipping point through the return loop before driving back towards a quick switch at the last inside clip before putting the power down for one final wall ride through the return sweeper. And that is your track rundown for the weekend, round 2 of the D1NZ Drifting Championship Series, Wellington 2019. It's the Thunderdome, presented by NZ Vapor.
So it's the Black Bull Liquor Tyres machine of Gargan King out on the track. And there will certainly be a difference in smoke, a difference in speed as the Pro Boys head out on track here. Oh, now that was a scary moment. Big straight line, straight at the concrete, manages to reinitiate, but it's going to be a 0 point in. Oh, he's going to have to pull out, I think. We've got to scratch that rear bumper. Gargan will not be happy. So he's going to know he's made a big mistake. To me, I mean, can you change the tyres between qualifying, or do you have to run on the same tyres? I don't know the answer to that one there. Can you change your tyres on your... No, you can't. So if you've done... So what my thing is he's essentially made a big mistake. Do you just jump off the gas?
Well, you just, I guess, said pros and cons, right? So if you go and bag the rest of the track, well, then you're using... But you should get 2 laps to a set of tyres here, at least. But you're right. You will have more tyres left on that car if you don't bag it up. And the guys we do say, look, if you hit the wall and you have a big 0, that was a 0 for Gargan, then we appreciate if you don't come back. Because if they hit the wall and then they keep going and they're dropping the wheel or something, can drag us out quite a bit.
There we go. Look, current position, first place, even with the 0s.
So just to reiterate, you asked about changing. Yes, you can change your tyres between turns. Gargan obviously was in position number 1. Here's a new car, Jesse Greenslade, the Pariah S15. Used to be grey, now it's red. Run number 1.
Well, the Pariah NZ Girls Machine, it's Jesse Greenslade. He's greedy. He owns far too many drift cars. This is certainly one we'll talk about during the weekend that he also owns. Painted it grey, the Aristo. But powers out of the circuit. Jesse didn't have the greatest round 1. Let's see what he can do in this one as he sets. So he's going to come through and set a nice score. Shallow through the final section, but smoke and bags and finishes off the run. Now, I've just been told that Joel Patterson is actually going to say we're not judges, but when you talk, I always seem to sort of tend to agree with you. We're not judges.
Yeah, we're not judges, and I don't know really. There you go, 21, 22, 17, so a 60. There you go, the first bank score for pro Jesse Greenslade Drift 60. So he's got a score, which is good. Geordie Cole out next, so that's a low score. Hopefully we see that Hundy.
Well, we'll certainly see the Coastal Spa and Pool FCRX7 of Geordie Cole out on track. Geordie was struggling with too much grip. They need to dial a little bit out during the day, during the free practice sessions earlier on in the day. Coming through, and again, another pro that can't quite get that rear end out as far as the judges want to see. Shallows up his line to challenge the wall again up through the NZ Vapor Zone. So Geordie Cole, he'll finish with points, but I can't see him being very happy with that run.
Up towards the bank to set yourself up. Here we go, 59. I was way off.
But I was closer.
Oh, right. So he was left foot braking into the section or off the bank? In and off. Okay, so there you go. Bit of a left foot braking there, which is what's marked him down. So Liam Burke up next. So we took the jump away just because it was really unsettling, the cars coming up into the bank. And we don't want cars in the wall, so no jump this year. But there is a bit of an unsettle coming off. Liam Burke in the Measure It Flooring S13 2JZ power plant. Under the bonnet for Liam, straight out of Pro Sport last season, now entering the Pro category, of course, brought to us by Galore Parts Group. Liam working that top line. Is that the same thing? We see a bit of riding foot brakes as he shallows up. He's allowed to do that and heads back up to the wall. Yeah, look, one of the things that the judges said is they don't want to see them left foot braking around the bank. So you'll see his brake lights there. He's got the multiple strips. That's fine. So those brake lights were nice.
Who put that jump in? Saw him last night in Tauranga. Here we go. First position, 72.5. That's exactly the score I was thinking. 24.5, 26.22 in style. So yeah, talking to Dimitri last night, he said no jump this year, Steve. I said, nah, mate, you're not here.
Yeah, you've got Live-Stream up there for the Superstocks, I think it is, this weekend. So they're up there competing. Jerry Zhu, one of the OGs of D1NZ, so fantastic to see him. He competes overseas as well. The NOB S15, his wife and hand, his partner, out there spotting for him. Jerry's really getting comfortable with this car now, switches on through, good angle, bit of a commentator's skill set.
So chucks the wheel off, but will certainly finish off his lap for Jerry Zhu. Certainly looked really, really nice to start for Jerry. Shallows up and heads back down the bottom end of the track. Poor old camera operators certainly struggling in the haze of NZ Vape.
Need to put on your bucket list just like Leffert. So there you go, Jerry Zhu, currently 64, 19, 25 and 20, so the line crucified for the line and the style. 10 points off 35 on the angle. Andrew Redwood is the angle king in New Zealand usually. Let's see what he's got.
Well, let's see what he's got. I don't think he runs the NOS anymore. That was always exciting. He's certainly winding on the angle, but he's missing the line. Shallow coming through that section there. Hits... Well, but there we go. Brendan White talks about angle, and that's what he's doing. Andrew Redwood firing that FCRX7, grabs that clip, shallows up exactly what the... And the tail end of this run, not looking too shabby for Andrew Redwood. Still a little bit off the concrete wall where they want to see him, but Not a bad first run, got called out. There we go, I said 73, 71.5.
Yeah, so look, I was maybe a bit high on that one, 27.5. So, you know, he scored really high on the angle because he is good at angle. Line, you know, he's 10 off the game. Style, really heavily marked down by Nick T-Boone on style. So it'd be interesting to see why he was marked down so much.
We'll certainly talk to Nick as we can.
Not much smoke we got, so no loud pedal from Andrew Edwards, so there you go. Style was marked down because he wasn't on his loud pedal.
All right, well, let's have a look at this car out on track. It's little Stewie Baker in the link engine management Zestino. 1.5 JZ powered S13. The happiest man in New Zealand drifting sets himself up. Little Stewie can be one that absolutely brings one out. And right now he's looking pretty cool. He's certainly getting smoke off those Zestinos. Hits his clip. Probably not quite as aggressive as Andrew Redwood, but filling it out of line and comes a little bit further down. Let's see what he does at this clip here. He has missed it by about 1.2 metres. Shallows up like he's allowed to do and gets back up towards the wall. Now when you miss that clip, you can miss everything for the rest of the lap. And he's about probably 2 metres off as he smashes a limiter coming back down. But 2 metres off this Harley. Here we go, little Stewie Baker, and I see it as 69.5, so I was a 1 off, so look, I shouldn't be a judge. Third position, 68.5.
Nick T-Boone really crucifying them again on the style front. Mackie being fairly giving. So this is Troy Jenkins, run number 1, the 2JZ Toyota's Galore GT86. So nice and high.
So starts high, starts to come down low. They've got to fill up the second, after the second NZ Vapor line, they can bring the car down. That's certainly high up, and getting that back end of the line, brings it back down. Grabs his clip though, that's not bad. He's allowed to shallow up, but that's a big mistake for Troy Jenkins. It's going to be interesting to see what the judges say. Ooh.
Bruce Tannock out. No, there we go. Obviously it didn't. Angle zero. Angle zero. I don't know if that might be a typo. Yeah, typo, that's all right. So we'll change that and we'll get that back up in a second. Use it. We'll blame that on Coleman, the man behind this big sheet behind us, putting in the scores. Oh, that was Mackie actually.
I thought it looked like 25 for angle. What do you think?
I'm not going to go there. Let's go.
I found out. I just asked him anyway, and he said I gave him 25. Let's have a look at the Magnum Turbo RB30 powered S13 of Bruce Tannock. Pro Championship. He did Pro Sport and Pro a couple of seasons ago, but hanging out with the big boys of the Achilles Radius, absolutely smoking Brucey. And that's the closest I've seen somebody to that clip. But he hits the clip. He doesn't get the car, the rear end of that car, all the way up like the judges seem to be wanting to see. This is what I'm glad he gets 85 off and making somebody else's issue. Yeah. All right, Bruce Tannock, 20.5 to 23.5 at angle, 15 in style, 7th position currently with a 59. So next out on track will be Ben Jenkins, the Brian Roberts Tom. Toyota's Galore GT86 in the Galore Parts Group Pro Championship. And it started nice, but the cars just started to drift back down. But chucking on a smoke show as he comes through. He was one that I was really enjoying watching during practice earlier on today. And let's see what Ben Jenkins can do. And again, very shallow, possibly one wheel off shallow. No one can hear me say that because of the noise of the engines, and comes through to cross the line.
That's rad, now that's what we call loud pedal.
That's what I'm sort of thinking. Let's see, 75.5. First position for Ben Jenkins, 23 in line, 29.5 an angle, and start of 23. And as a commentator, I always get it right. I actually thought I said I saw a wheel off.
Like I was looking at the judges and they're shaking their heads like either I'm too low or too high. I have no idea. Like Mackie was like
neither do they.
No, they don't. Well, they do, but they don't. We don't, because we're not judging. So remember, they've got 3 criteria. All Mackie is watching is line. Angle, my bad. Mackie's watching his angle. Dunker is watching his line. And then Nick T-Boone is watching his style, i.e. the loud pedal. Someone who's really, really fond of the loud pedal. This is the Rumataka Rangers, is that right? The Rumatakas?
That's right, it's in Wellington.
And last year, this guy was in flames, and it was just very, very loud. Tomorrow night will be very, very loud as well, because obviously Pyro Company Fireworks are going to make this the Thunderdome. Lots of fire. But this guy is going to bring the fire soon too.
This guy certainly will. He's a Ryko 24/7 Mimico 180 with a big 13B. There's nothing big about it. 13B turbo. It's one of the loudest cars in the D1NZ. Adam Davies, of course, we've gone from the lowest order following last season. We're working our way to the top, and with doing so, the scores start to rise. Adam Davies about to get hit by a drone, grabs his... Oh, just got straight off the gas. Big shout out to Rex and the team from Mimico, of course. They assisted with those beautiful Cabalco SK2 10LC. Scotty Shembry, awesome. It's good to see Scotty Shembry tuning into the live stream. All right, look, I was very close. I said 183.5, 100 would be first position if you got it. That's what Adam Davies has got, line 30, angle 31.5, style 22. So certainly got a beating in style. Let's have a look at a man who likes to beat up on the big boys. Of course, the Freedom Pulse, Cooper Tyres, Mount Maunganui, Euphoric Motorsports, our dog. It is Mr. Vincent Langhorne. I wonder if Vinny got towed down or just drove his car down. That thing there, which is immaculate in every way, shape and form, has a warrant of fitness and registration on it. He can literally drive that as long as we make him make sure he replaces the rear tyres, but he can drive that wherever he wants.
Look, Steve, we're just going to go for a quick advert break, and we'll be back with you guys very shortly. We're just going to check a couple things out on the track, and then we'll come back once the live stream's ready to go. So stay with us. We'll pay some of the bills.
Bill time, see you soon. All right, so we'll see if we can grab a quick air break shortly, but I think one of the things they're possibly looking at is a massive sunstrike. So what sunstrike is, you can see the cars going through. As they drive around the circuit here, they're hitting a massive amount of sun. Now, it's not the fact that the sun shines in your eyes, it's a combination of that and the smoke. We're going to go pay our bills, play a few ads, and we'll come back and just confirm what's going to happen, or whether we're going to take a short break and allow that sun to come down. All right, apologies for that. Okay, welcome back everybody to the 2019 D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series, round number 2 of the Thunderdome, presented by NZ Vapor. So what has been going on? Let's bring Dan Mackey in. Dan, sunstrike, a big issue.
Yeah, look, it is. It's something that we really need to be wary of. The way this track's designed, it does focus directly into the sun at this time of the afternoon. A couple of the drivers sort of mentioned, and you might have noticed in the stream, that there's some little bobbles as they went back into the wall ride for the second time, which is where the sun's coming through. Myself and the other two judges, Brendan Dunker and Nick T. Byrne, we've had a look down from on the level there, and we can definitely see what they're talking about. There's a shadow creeping in from the sun across the edge of the wall, which is making it hard for the drivers to pick up and spot where they've been. A lot of guys are sort of saying, but they've been driving the whole time. These guys, when they're coming back through, they have been driving the whole time, but we're asking them to get up to a clip point on the wall. So they really need to understand exactly where that is and be able to see it. Otherwise, it is dangerous. As you said yourself, Steve, these guys have got, $100,000, $200,000 cars. We definitely don't want them riding those off, and we're certainly concerned about their safety as well. So what we've done is we've decided to put out some cones to try and give them a bit more idea of where the track edges are, where they're going to be hitting their clip points. We're going to run a couple of guys out there to run some runs to just have a test. They're not going to be judged, they're just going to be simply the guys will run through, see what they think. They'll give us some feedback. If they feel it's safe to continue, the drivers will agree that we will. If not, we're going to have a drivers meeting and decide how it's all going to play out tomorrow.
Okay, if I'm going to play devil's advocate now, there are certain drivers that have already posted scores. We've got a 79.5 by Ben Jenkins. He was actually one of the people that came up and said, sunstrike, big issue. Could we see the scores be scrubbed and everyone put back on level?
Look, it is potentially an option, and we could choose to do that. What it'll do is we'll go to a driver's vote. So depending on what happens, we'll put a driver's vote forward. It may be a couple of different scenarios that we can have out there. So drivers may be able to keep their score and not run again. Drivers that feel like they might have been disadvantaged by sunstrike can choose to run again. Ben Jenkins probably won't. Speaking to him down in the pits just a minute ago, he was saying that he came around the last clip, looked up for his point, couldn't see it, just had a go to see if he could hit the point. Turns out he hit it just perfect. and ran the wall all the way around to get a great score, which is fantastic for Ben. But there was probably a lot more luck than actual driver skill involved in that. Like you were saying, he did score a good score, but that was more luck for that section of the track than him being able to go, yeah, there's my point, I'm going to drive straight to it. Because in Ben's own words, he said, I just couldn't see it. I had to go, threw it through the smoke, and also popped out of the nice spot.
So we've got Vincent Langhorne, he's the next car that's coming through. Well, he was the next car out. I guess he's going to be the first person that's going to actually go out and try this track and probably come back and offer us some sort of... So right now we've got really no issue. He's got no issue, he's coming out, but what we're going to find shortly is a very, very big issue. He's billowing smoke, he's coming through and doing his switches.
Yeah, look, you could even see in the smoke, you can see the change in colour of the smoke behind his car, which you can't see now. It's all white. As he comes back around, if he manages to go through and doesn't bail out, you'll see a change in the colour of his smoke from high to low. It's a lot darker and deeper. He's going back in there. He's looking through. He seemed to hit it okay, so maybe we've got it wrong. The angle's at the wrong angle for the camera. You can certainly see a change when he comes out of that zone in the colour of the smoke, and that's what we're looking for to see from him. So,
I think the biggest part right now we see it on the screen, the entire screen's white out because, hey look, we're shooting through this way here, he's going through, we can see B-Dub down there having a chat. What's your take? What is your opinion of it? There's a lot of drivers, there's all the drivers down there, they're waiting to have a decision. Cole Armstrong, etc. I saw Finger down earlier on.
Yeah, and that's right. These guys, they've got championships on the line apart from anything else. They don't want to do anything to upset that. Qualifying is a fairly important part in our sport. So the guys, apart from safety, are definitely looking to maintain their championships as well. So they'll have a look, they'll have a think. Vinny's very well respected amongst our drivers, so he'll have a bit of a feedback. If they're not quite sure, they might send another couple of drivers out and see where they go. But certainly, the Brains Trust is down there. I think Brendan Dunker, head judge, is down there as well somewhere. So he'll be right over the technical regulations and rules and make sure it all rolls along.
So sorry to interrupt, you see the Brains Trust, you meant people of intelligence. Should we not bring them up and send you back down?
No, I don't need to be down there. Don't be ridiculous, Steve. I'm much better suited to being up here with you. Being an Australian, I'm not nearly as wise or bright as these Kiwi guys that are over here. Look, mate, it's a team effort. We all work together. Someone had to come up and try and report back to you guys, fans that are still sticking with us and watching. We thank you for that. But my role today was to come up and help get that message out to people so that they understood why we're making these choices. Hopefully you're following along, you understand where we're up to, and we can keep moving forward.
Our D1NZ judges. So Vincent Langhorne. And there's that discoloration. You can see light, dark, different colours, etc. of that smoke coming through. Vinny backing it in. Kicks it again. Not as high as he'd like, but this is the part that's scary. I can see himself. There's not a lot of wind, and that wind's going to blow the smoke away. So the smoke's starting to move a little bit faster. We must have a bit of wind around that is actually moving that smoke away, coming through for that return part of the lap. As Vinny sends it round. Oh, well, that is 100. That's 100% on style, anyway.
One of my favourite commentators. We won't talk about the score in the ID Cup. When I don't think any Kiwis made it through to the top 8. Is that right, Warren? You can't answer me. Sorry, mate. So that'll have to be the truth. Just like RBs are the best engines out there.
Look at that. No, go away. I liked you up until that moment there. I'm actually going to put Warren Sayre 100% correct. As he normally is. He's a stats man. If Warren says it, like the guy worked at a bank, he's like an accountant. He knows what he's talking about. Dan Mackey getting offside with the Kiwis. For the first time, actually, so that's good to see. All right, well, this man here he's close enough to home to be called a local. The Parts Trader NZS14 with the Harley Engines and Motorsport 1GZ. Of course, it's the V12 Maestro man, Jaron O'Crona. Now, so Langhorne's got a score on the board, 62.5. Troy Jenkins with a 56. Let's look at the top 5 Davies. Ben Jenkins, Burke, Redwood, Baker. But let's see what the Parts Trader NZ, the screaming missile that is Jaron O'Crona. So O'Crona a little bit shallow coming through this first section, but hits the clip. Wheels on track. Hold on to this one, Jaron. Again, venturing up to the top. That's where we want to see him through the teardrop. Narrowly missing the cone before heading back up to the wall. Again, shallow line. So it comes down to it's a hard one to call. Japanese drivers, those are crew members now. we'll wait to see what happens as we're talking about Rice Supply Code, the 07 Frankenstein, Jaron O'Connor, 65 points, line 23, angle 25, style 17, current position of 6th position for Jaron O'Connor. Amazing clip coming through in the transition zone, but a little bit shallow in certain parts of the track. Of course, he's been nailing it most of the day and just gets it slightly wrong. But, I mean, is he going to say maybe that was Sunstruck that caused that as well? I mean, that's an argument that we've allowed these drivers to consider. One of the biggest things we need to ensure is right now we're watching smoke dissipate out of the speedway track here. You can see it's moving away. Now, if that happens during the run, it actually reduces, or sorry, it lessens the effect of that Sunstrike as we see the 07 Blacklion Tyres Frankenstein monster of hashtag because Jace Brown making his way. It's a glorious sounding machine. So wild angle, big lock for Jace Brown. Sacrificing line. You can see even through the camera shot here, not affected as much as it has been because of that sun, until I say that. So every driver so far has hit that, is like now this cloud of smoke that we saw leaving before. It's not going as quickly, it's starting to create a haze. We've got 65 points on the board, line 20, angle 25, style 20, current position 6, 65 points for Jace Brown. Mechanical test that from Sunstrike has got written down on our screen. As you can see, the Galore Parts Group D1NZ Pro Championship. Wild angle, nice line. Let's see him come off the turn. Needs to fill up that outer zone. Nice and high up the zone, but this is the point where you cannot see. He's dialing on angle, he's winding it up, and he's starting to wind up the rubber band. It's a clean lap for Carl Thompson. I certainly wouldn't want to be trying to drive through the haze show that's currently being put on by those. And here we go for Carl Thompson. Second position, 81.5, and angle is where it's at. 30.5 and angle, 26 in line, style 25, a great lap. 81.5 for Carl Thompson. And comes up to stop. Damon Templeman, Engine Specialties Limited, nzmotorills.com. Tri-Ace tyres, and you can look at that. Well, it started well, and then it just instantly just dropped down the track. But let's see how Damon Templeman can go as he fires through into the transition spot. Running those tyres up as high as he can. He needs to hold it up here. As we check the inner clip, so he's well off that clip there. Is that going to ruin the rest of his lap? We're about to find out. Keeps it on track. Damon Templeman, listen to that 2JZ absolutely popping off the limiter. 900 horsepower Spec 5. Mustang. Damon Templeman, 23 online, angle is 25, style is 21, first run 69, current position for Danum, 6th position. Let's see what Fangit Dan Woolhouse can do in these central entries. Ford Mustang RTR, and I must say it looks a lot better than these hideous V8 supercar versions as Fangit goes straight to the wall. That's a nice line to start. Fangit Dan comes through. Let's see how his switches. Absolutely flying. Hits that clip there. So this is where the problem is, but the other time, Fangit's on a different side of the car to the other drivers, being a left hooker. Oh, that's under the bonnet for Ben Wilkinson. So Daniel Woolhouse, line 30, angle 28, style 26, run 1 total, 84 points, current position for Fangit Dan, number 1. Well, it's Ben Wilkinson's turn. What can he do in the Pack and Say Botany Downs S15? That's big angle. He's filling up that zone, not as high up the track as you'd like him, but still the speed and style comes through and grabs his clip and starts heading up. Bit of a struggle for us in the commentary position to watch what's happening on track. Look at the smoke. Ben Wilkinson, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. We're waiting for it to flash up on screen. Ben Wilkinson, line 26, angle 29, style 24, run number 1, 79 points for Ben Wilkinson. Current position, number 4. 24/7 Mimico. S14, Dave Steadman. And Steadman, that's where the judges want to see. Shallows up towards the second half and has got to give it a big kick to come through. Grabs that clip and let's see what he can do through that teardrop section as he runs higher up the track. And this is a shallow line that the judges were okay with. It needed to get a little higher than what he is, Dave Steadman. Certainly blowing out the smoke. So Dave Steadman, line 22, angle 23, style 19. He's been beaten up a little bit in the scoring, hasn't he? Run number 1 for Dave Steadman, 64 points, current position 12th. So 12th place for Dave Steadman. Next car, all the way from Australia, mate. The Performance Automotive S15 2JZ power plant. So much better than Dan Mackey's favourite RBs. Of course, Australia's finest drifter, Matty Hill. So the first run of qualifying for Matty Hill. Heads over from Australia back here to NZ. Quick look on the Woolhouse, 84 points in first. Davies 83.5 in second. Thompson 81.5 in third. Wilkinson a 79. Ben Jenkins 75.5 in fifth place. Big gaps between them and the cars further back. Let's see what Matty Hill can do in the Performance Automotive S15. Solid lap for Matty. Can't keep it on the solid stuff. Bounces off and that will be a 0 for Matty Hill. Maybe given a tight rope to walk on as such. So current position 0-0-0, 19th place Matty Hill. At Matty Hill Drift, check him out on Alright, let's have a look at the next car. Will be the RB34 power plant of the Nissan New Zealand Nismo, the Bling Company, R35 Skyline, former New Zealand champion and the man who leads the D1NZ standings after the first round of the championship, Darren Kelly. So the first run for Darren Kelly. Gets given the nod and off he goes. So there comes Darren. Clean start to Darren Kelly's lap. Huge angle as he comes through into the teardrop and gets the car nice and wide. See if he can bring the nose down. Oh, look at the use of brake as you see the illumination from that LED light bar on the roof of that car. And here we go, line 19.5, angle 26, style 22, with a first run of 67.5. His current position is in 10th place for Darren Kelly. At Darren Kelly Drift, give him a like. All right, end of the first run. The first set of runs, and it will be the V-Energy R34 Skyline, the pilot. Happy birthday to Cole Armstrong. He is 21 today. I sang him happy birthday earlier on and gave him a big kiss. He just looked at me, he's like, thanks for the man love, Steve. Thanks for the man love. That's all right, Cole. Happy birthday. He's 21 or 40 or one of those. No, I'm 40. You can't be that old. Anyway, let's have a look at the Zestino tyre, the V-Energy R34 Skyline. Powered by V. Butaline. He's hit the concrete today. He doesn't mind getting the back end of that car up close to the concrete. And let's see what Cole Armstrong can do. Just walking a tightrope with that R34 Skyline. You want the best out of your drivers, and there was a potential mistake. That was a great looking lap. It will be interesting to see what the judges say as Cole finishes right up by the wall. He's going to be happy with what he's done out there on track. Here comes the results. Oh yeah, 21.5 in line, angle 22, style 19. Run number 1 for Cole Armstrong, 62.5, 15th position currently. So there was certainly, it looked great, but just at the end it looked like, I don't know, almost looked like he'd straightened up. We're just waiting for Gargan. I don't think we're going to have a chance to... Look, can you tell me, I saw what I thought was you were down with Brendan Dunker. I thought it was a straight line in there. Did you see a big mistake there for Cole?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a look at it on the replay, and it was definitely very close, but he managed to get it just over the transition there. We're going to go back to watching this. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you. I know the rules, so I was trying to run away as quickly as I could so Brendan Dunker could see his eyes. That's a nice start for Gargan King. Wow, that's if you want to hit your clip, that's one way of doing it. Certainly right out there in the Blackpool looker. RB 30, 42, 30, something or other. He's got a 34 and a 32, and it looks pretty damn cool to me. But you can have a car that looks cool. Sometimes you've got to be able to drive it cool, and sadly, a big mistake to finish off his lap is going to no doubt see Gargan with a big 0-0. So, look, welcome back, Brendan White. It's been great having you in commentary. I mean, I've waited about 5 years to talk smack with you, but of course, part of your job sometimes is you have to actually break away.
Yeah, look, number one is always the driver's, mental state when they're out on the track, and also track safety and the driver's safety. So obviously you may have seen us down there talking to the drivers, gauging it, and all the drivers are comfortable to keep running. The top guys are like, look, there is a little bit of a blind spot, but no more than when you're chasing a car. You've got that chase position in and you switch through the smoke. So you've got to spot your thing. So we put the cones out there to kind of give them that gauge, so to speak, out on the wall there. We deal with this at Bay Park. We've dealt with it before the sun strikes. So they're all in the same position. And the thing is we wait up, okay, do we move tomorrow morning? And talking to all the top guys, they're comfortable to keep going. So, we don't make that call lightly on where we place the cars, but, the guys are happy to be out there, and that's the main thing. So, Gargan, 37 on the second run, so he has banked a score, even though it's only 4 in style. Talking to Cole, talking to Darren, talking to Carl, they're all pretty comfortable out there. It is hard day at the office, but we all adapt and deal. And I think the judges are obviously watching that as well. We have Jesse out there, first season in pro.
It's great to see him out there in pro, of course, taking a step up from pro sport. Last season, Jesse Greenslade in the Pariah NZ Girls S15, doing a great job in that car there. He's stepped into a monster essentially, so he's actually starting to get used to driving a lot faster. It might actually be a good cross trainer for him in that immaculately presented race qualifier. Doesn't mean you're going to be a great battler, and you've got a taste of battling a lot more. So there we go. It was an improvement after his second run, 19.5, 25 and 16 comes to 60.5, 17th position for Jesse Greenslade. But you know what that means? He's into the main game. Certainly one of the characters of the D1NZ. You see, the CRX7 can handle it. He's certainly not struggling in pace as he fires it in well offline, but let's see the second half of the lap. Most important is this clip here, and then setting yourself up to that outside zone. So again, quite shallow for Geordie Cole. by doing so. He's missed his clip. I don't think he's going to be scored well online, but he's then had to reset the car again. And chucks in an amazing Super 6. I just can't believe the blue sky you're putting on one. Let's have a look at Geordie Cole. Line 19.5. There we go. Angle 27. Style down on 15.5. Run number 2. It was an improvement, 62 points, but current position 17th place for Geordie Cole. All right, let's see the measure up flooring. S13 of Liam Burke. He won the championship in pro sport last year. He took the trainer wheels off and said, I'm heading to pro. He's doing a great job to start as well. Went up against Jody Donovan. Slight mistake. He managed to regather his composure, carry on the drift, and let's see him power out. So he does get right up by the wall though. Certainly a fair bit of foot brake in there for Liam Burke. There's certainly some nice extravaganza. Let's have a look at Liam Burke. Line 19.5, angle 23, style down to the 16. Second run was 58.5, so a heavy deduction over his first one, 6th position based off his first run. Which was
a whole bunch of people bought Lime scooters in their vans to get around here at D1NZ. So Liam, he's been actively trying to
because I didn't have a high-vis on, and I remembered having a pink demon hat, and I managed to say, well, this is high-vis, can I wear this? And everyone were giving me stick because I was wearing, look at you, with your pink hat on, and I decided I quite like that, just like Jerry Zoo has decided he likes the park into the dirt.
I don't know, he's got a pink pig on his car holding a steering wheel, which is very unique. I'm not sure what it means. Do the judges know what pink pig stands for? Oh, okay. NOB. Oh, so it's a building company. So yeah, NOB's a building company. Oh, that doesn't look good. It's Jesus. Didn't even go out, did he? No. So whether that means he's done for the day, something like that. So we've got something on track that we can actually see. That looks like Jerry Zoo's belt, maybe, which Andrew Wood's parked next to. So the grid staff will obviously be looking at that as Keir goes for a little run. So he didn't start, and that is the reason why Jerry Zoo came back off.
It's about.
So Angle King, Andrew Redwood, he took out the 150. Big shout out to Kurt and Rob and all the team down at 150, supporting Andrew for coming back, because he is their champion. They obviously want to promote 150 for the 60th this year, and Nankang Tyres on the back of that beautiful FC RX.
So Jerry Zoo threw the power steering belt, so that's what that belt was. The power steering belt is Andrew Redwood. I see what he means by angle. Look at it as he fires it through. He's putting on a smoke show. Smoke hasn't got time because he's going so fast. Quick snap and backs it into the teardrop section. Starts heading towards the top end of the track where the judges want to see. Grabbing that clip, shallowing up his line exactly like he's supposed to. And let's see what he can do as he finishes the... He's always so quick. That SC RX-7 absolutely flying. He loves it being out there, does Andrew Redwood. He is fast. The second half of these... So what did I say? I said a 74, 72?
Yep, low 70s. So pretty standard there. Andrew won't be too happy with the scores, but at the same time that puts him into 7th position here for the New Zealand Vapor Wellington Thunderdome D1NZ round 2, which is always good to see. 7th position means he's going to battle the lower end of the field. Next up is the Link ECU, Zestino S13
Well, here he is, the little man himself, little Stewie Baker heads out. Big vibration in the rear of the car. I don't know if it's the car itself or just the whole back end. Most of that stuff's fiberglass. Right out by the wall though. Great looking start for little Stewie Baker. Comes through and hits the outside clip. It doesn't quite snap back, but he's right up where... This is a good looking second half of the run. Yeah, I'm going to grab that one there as he comes through. Big mistake. Let's see what he can do in the second half though. I think he might get judged quite badly in that last... at the top of the track anyway, as he moves back in and brings that little S13.
Here in Wellington today watching. So come on down, because we need your support through the back. 8th position, 26.5 for line, so good line and angle. Nick T-Bing, very harsh. I've noticed
I think we should just swap him out with Dan.
Dan
That's even.
Right, I'll take it.
All right, let's go to the next car. It'll be Troy Jenkins. He scored low for his first one. Let's see what he can do in run number 2 here for the D1NZ National Drifting Championship, the Pro Qualifier. Troy Jenkins in the Toyotas Galore, Brian Robinson in GT86, Monster 2 JZ, and this looks a lot better than his first run here. Switch is nice angle coming through for that switch, and that there is. I mean, he's just got told he could park his car there. Obviously, send it.
Send it as Jared Deandy would say from. You like to say that?
There we go. So we are sending it. That's Jared. Yeah, that's not a word that I like to use anyway, because it's Jared's. But anyway, great angle to start. A little bit low. Might be time to turn the lights on now. We've gone from Sunstrike to. So. Comes through, sets himself up. So he's clipped something coming through there, but that's a nice line coming out. Nice and high and hitting that inside clip. Bruce Tannock. I'm liking what I see. But this is a struggle for Bruce as he's come through the start and the finish really shallow around that big, but everything else looked pretty damn good to me for Bruce Tannock. We'll see what the judges have to say, but so we're just waiting for the scores will be posted for Bruce Tannock. So 63 points for 15th position, 22, 25, 16 is line angle and style as we await the Brian Roberts towing Toyotas Galore GT86 of Ben Jenkins to be released again. 79, if I remember right, was his lap after his first run. And straight again, nicely up the wall. Nice way to start. Let's see how far up Ben can get. A little bit shallow. He's holding some great speed coming through. He can't see. He cannot see. He cannot see. That is exact. So right there. I mean, I'm saying that one here. I'm all over. And we've got a massive fire at the back of that car there as he comes to a stop. And you can see the team very, very quick to come up. They need to stop that car there. And of course, Bruce and the team. And okay, so something happened here. And then all of a sudden he just gets back on. And check that out. That's going to make the replay. You see, he comes through, gets on it again, gets on again. So those of you at home, big shout out to the team from Fruitcall. Ben Jenkins, let's have a look at his second run. Wasn't as good as the first. First one was a 75.5, next one was a 62, 19.5, 26.5. That's good on angle. Style though, let him down with a 16. Current position, 5th position, and that was based off his first run. So 75.5, 5th position for Ben Jenkins based off his first run. D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series Round 2, the Thunderdome presented by NZ Vapor. Well, I can see the moon in the sky, but the sun's the thing that's causing the problem at the moment. We can see the glare. Of course, if you add smoke to that, I mean, it's actually difficult to watch through the commentary box window because of, well, I didn't clean them first anyway. But look, you can see this beautiful glow. Is that the city, or is that just a Mavic drone? Look, guys, thank you very much for joining us here. Sorry for keeping you holding on the live stream. I'm Steve Danny, of course, part of your commentary team. Brendan White as well. Brendan, what have we got?
Yeah, look, guys, we are just stalling a bit here, not obviously because of you guys at home or because there's something on the track. It's just purely the sunstrike and the smoke, and drivers obviously. You can see a couple of corrections there, and we've just got to weigh, having a couple of judicial calls here on what we do moving forward. But everyone's got to deal with the same, I guess, conditions, but the conditions are changing. So while we just wait, basically all we're doing is waiting for the sun to drop a bit more.
It's close.
Yeah, it's close, very close, and then we'll get back underway. So no doubt we're going to, for everyone who is watching at home, thank you for tuning in. And for everyone here sitting in the stands, we really appreciate you guys sticking around. We've still got about 15 cars to go, and then we'll be done for the evening. But we're just going to let it drop a wee bit more, and then we'll get back underway. Well,
to those at the track, welcome back. Of course, to those streaming via, of course, Blacklion, our official live streaming partner. Thanks for coming back. We have got Adam Davies. Rex is watching from Daytona. There's your boy on the track, the Ryco 24/7 Mimico 180SX. It's Panhead qualifying for the D1NZ Pro Championship, brought to us by the Galore Parts Group.
Yeah, right, so we're in qualifying at the moment, and to everyone out there that is a bit of a newbie and maybe on the live stream or here at the show, Nicole Harris sort of thought maybe we should explain what happens tomorrow. So tomorrow what happens is we go into a bit of practice, and then after qualifying, which is happening right now, the Mimico 180SX, we do battle. So I'll explain that in a second after Steve's run this down.
All right, well, let's see what Adam Davies can do as he comes through, switches in and makes his way up to the teardrop section. Needs to fill the outer zone. You can see the car absolutely backfiring, setting flames out the back end. Big flick, big switch, and off he goes. So comes to a finish. So yeah, of course it's with.
So we've got obviously Adam Davies scores. So Rex, mate. Well, you know what that means? Dave Stedman is no longer the favourite son anymore. So it's Adam Davies has redeemed himself this round.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So of course you'll be proud. So Clint can go back to the barbecues. The son's back into the top spot. Talking about the top spot, there's a man who likes to beat the big boys and take them off the top spot in his Warner Fitness and registered road car that turned pro drifter, Vinny Langhorne. Well, that's not going to be driving home like that. Oh, okay. Vinny said yes, it will be. Look, just if you are tuning in via Facebook, thank you very much again for coming in. If you haven't already, click the like. I want to get to 120,000 this weekend likes on Facebook. Now, you got 26 minutes left on Facebook, right? 26 minutes is all we've got. We've got the red lights come on.
So basically, what does that mean, Steve? 26 minutes left on Facebook.
So look, don't stress. You've got 26 minutes left. That is the outright that's the outright time we've got, because Facebook allows us only a certain amount of time. I think it's 3.5 or 4 hours. That's essentially it's like the Lexus V8 front and rear, but it's got a whole heap extra cylinders, and it creates noise that sounds the same as the Hartley Formula One car that was driven by Brendan Hartley last season for Toro Rosso, and that's the sound they wanted to develop. Jaron O'Crona winds on the angle to actually bring the car to a stall, and shallow coming out misses his clip, and that's what happens if you get it shallow, you miss your clip. Grabs that one there. Let's see what he can do as he finishes off the lap, and you can see that time to pick the ND filters back out of the cameras and brighten her up again as Jaron brings the Parts Trader New Zealand S14
goes through. What are you guys going to score him at home? There we go, 65-65. So it doesn't get any better for Jaron Oliver-Crona, but in current 11th position.
So nice score at angle. That was 27 points. That's out of 35 though, so that is a slight drop, but not too bad for Jaron. But of course on line and style, dropped down a couple of points, but a clean lap all the same. It's the Rise Supply, the Vitor Tyres. It's one of the noisiest cars in the D1NZ, and certainly one of the best looking. It's hashtag why, because Jace Brown out on track, comes through, nails the clip. That's what I want to see, and gets up on the loud pedal. Looks like it's going to be shallow though as he comes around. Now he still hits that clip there. It's going to be a deduction for shallows up, and he needs to get right up by the wall if he's not that high though. Gets reinitiates, because that's my favourite word in drifting outside of I hate OMTs, and finishes the lap.
Say he was really on for a good score, so you know that part of the bank, there you go, 63.5 for Jace Brown, 63.5, so it doesn't better his first run, currently in 12th position, so you're probably going to be battling the top pointy end of the field. Who he gets, we'll find out shortly.
This man here sits in 3rd position after his first run, which was a scorching 81.5. It's the Speed Flow Falcon S15 Big Marsh Motorsport V8 under the bonnet. Of course, Carl Thompson. Carl Thompson, he was known for having that quad rotor, 1800 horsepower at times, Aristo. Huge NOS. He said, it's time to go up and build an S15. I want to compete in the D1NZ, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's been asking the judges all day, what line do you want me to take? How do I look for this? How do I do that? And he's filling zones right now. Comes up in the clip, switches over, and back on the loud pedal. He needs to come higher up the track. He's starting to feel that though. Although he might have grabbed an inside wheel as he comes through the teardrop section, but back up the top. So A lot of these drivers not performing as well in qualifying as they have in practice. The track tempo.
Coming in, what do we score there? 81.5. Well, there we go. It was a high-scoring one. 80. These judges, man, they're pretty consistent. You've got to give them that as the awesome photo up there. 31.5. That's got to be one of the highest angle scores that we've seen today.
It certainly has. Certainly everything I'd expected. He was a little bit offline, and if he did, he would have easily gone to the top spot, in my opinion. And I'm a professional judge/commentator, not judge. Possibly a little bit too much break anyway, a foot brake. NZMotorOils.com, a new name on the side. Zick is still there, but it's moved, and NZMotorOils.com on the side of the E46 BMW of Damon Templeman. And he's throwing sparks as he starts that, by the looks of things. I'm not sure if we'll get a chance to see that again on the replay, but let's see what Danham can do as he fires through and comes through into the switch. Heads up the top. So he's well off that clip, but let's see what he can do as he comes through. Still, that's a nice high line. You can see where the black marks are, hitting the limiter and powering out of this section, showing the power of the two, JZ, Dana Templeman.
Find out what that is. This is your number one qualifier at the moment, currently in 9th position, so unfortunately not as good as his first run.
Yeah, 20, 27 and 20, that's line, angle and style for Dana Templeman. Score of 67, run number 1 was 69, so current position 9th for Danham. Next car out on track, of course, is the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5D with the Roush X 436 cubic inch 900 horsepower V8 by Century batteries and Castrol New Zealand. Let's see what Fanger Dan Wallhouse can do, and that is going up and grazing the concrete. Look at him go. Three-wheeling as Fanger loves to do. The Ford Mustang, rocks on over, reinitiates and puts his foot back down on the loud pedal. A slight mistake that's going to have a heavy points deduction, but Fanger certainly showing where. But I'll tell you one thing, if you're a V8 supercar lover, this is how you should design, possibly not the left rear quarter of that, but that's what a V8 supercar Mustang should look like.
Yeah, look, they're not, while they touch the walls, they're not built like that, so they don't hit. Let's just switch back to Ben Wilkinson at the moment. Already got a bit of panel damage.
Well, check out the angle he starts this one. He gets it high, brings it up with a little bit of left foot brake as he washes out through into that transition point. Not a bad start. He does miss this one here. Let's see how he goes. Climbs up the wall. No, he's kind of missed it again, but I mean, so we've seen the same thing from a number of different drivers as the but gets back up that wall again. Now it's a higher than everyone else, but there's certainly mistakes during the lap that's going to potentially cost Ben Wilkinson, but great looking car. Out to you, and 23.31.5. I thought the angle was amazing. Certainly the angle judge thinks the same. Style 22, not too bad. Second run was a 76.5, but not as good as his first run, so 4th place but a great lap all the same. Ready to send out the second half of Team DSR, another Ryko 24/7 Mimico machine, this time an S14 with an RB power plant. Of course, toting is Dave Steadman. You can see he's trying to get the smoke that he's just scrubbed his tyres. He's generated some heat into them, but of course, scrubbing tyres equals smoke. Smoke into a cabin equals having to pump the door to allow. So you can see he's now closed his door. Hand on the foot brake, 10 minutes on the stream left, so we've got 4 cars to go. That's 2 minutes each, hopefully, and then we will get them going. As I said, if we have to, I guess we'll have to hold them and hold the last car and bring it back for the. I'll just get that confirmed though from our D1NZ. The higher up the hierarchy that runs the show, so straight up to the wall goes Dave Steadman. We saw flames out the bonnet from last year, chucking on us, and he's doing the same again, out to put on a show. Let's turn it into a lap as well, and he's bringing it right up. Come on, Dave, hold on to this one here. Hits his clip. Come on, Dave Steadman, and bring it out to the wall. So a bit of brake, but it's just dabs, and power's back out, so... Not quite what...
But, they're not that giving today. Here we go, 80.
Oh, okay. All right, line 26, angle 32.5. That is huge. Style 22. in the second run, 80.5 current position. 4th place for Dave Steadman. So look, we can tell you now that we are about 8 minutes away from the live stream. What is it? So we've got 3 cars to go. Matty Hill, Performance Automotive S15 will be the next one to go. Let's hope we can get this, because I don't want to come back for one car.
Yeah, and it's the last car would be Cole Armstrong. You know, you had that big touch with the wall. We are just waiting for the smoke to clear at the same time to give them optimum, I guess, performance out there. So Cole Armstrong had a big touch with the wall earlier on. He's got his car back out, but he is sitting a bit lower, so he's going to be delivering it. Matty Hill, if there's any Australian fans out there, performance lovers, this is the time to hit that Love Hard Australia. Here's your man.
Certainly is. Mick Dreamy, it's the Performance Automotive S15 2JZ. Matty Smith, the Australian. Matty Hill, Matty Smith. We're talking Speedway, there's a Speedway driver called Smith. Anyway, Matty Hill, he'll kill me later. Comes through, hits his clip, and makes his way right up to the top, but starts to shallow off again. But hard on the loud pedal.
We'll wait for the score to come up. Here you go. Yep, 71.5. So it was, I didn't realise he'd got a 0 on the first run, so he had to bank something. So that's why he played a bit safe. Currently in 9th position.
That was a sick banking lap then for a... He got it right up there. He came pretty close to grazing the wall. Grazing the wall generally inverts cars and turns them inside out. So, all right, here goes the Nismo Nissan New Zealand, the Blink Company R35 Skyline. Former New Zealand Drift King Darren Kelly, the next car to take his second run of qualifying. Of course, don't forget, if you're posting things on social media, hashtag D1NZ 2019. All right, time to send it. I hate that word just as much as I despise one more time battles. Anyway, let's go back up to it. One of the biggest cars in the D1NZ, Darren Kelly, and he is filling that nicely. Let's see if he can get his outside clip. So he throws it, backs it in, scrubs off some speed, but he's right out by the wall. Wow, I mean, he's hitting clips. Are we about to see a challenge to Fanger Dan Woolhouse? That's wild angle. It's pretty close to line. Pretty stylish guy. What's your take on this?
The bank just for the left foot braking. Here we go.
We suck. Well, I guess the judges have been watching something else. What's your take?
No, I think that left foot braking on the bank would have really, really hurt him.
And that's what I was saying too. You can't do that.
And all the judges are shaking their heads as yes for that one. So they were told they would be heavily marked down on the bank of the left foot brake. So there you go, guys.
They were shaking their head at my employment.
Yeah. So Cole Armstrong out there. So Cole Armstrong, the last car to go for tonight, from my understanding. We're just waiting for a bit of the smoke to clear for Cole. He's obviously sitting a bit further down at the moment. 16? No, 0. Is it a 0 for the first pass?
So who do we have in 0? So let's have a look. We've got... He scored, he did score, so now he's fine, isn't he? No, I didn't say 0. What are you trying to say? Is it telling a boy? No, look, I was going, if you do this, I get to punch you. Yeah. So, yeah, it's time for him to do exactly the same. It's the Energy R34 Skyline. And then, so I can tell you there is 1 minute and 40 seconds of live stream to go. If it cuts off, we'll say thank you very much right now. So everyone for tuning in, don't forget, just check out the Facebook page tomorrow and we will have all of the information about it as we let the RB32 powered V Energy R34 Skyline. It's Cole Armstrong. Oh, absolutely backing it in. Oh, it's a 100-point score. He lives down the road from me. I'm all about Cole Armstrong. He's my mate. We drink beer together. All right, come back up. Certainly no use of foot brake at all. This is the perfect run. NZ Vapor, of course, of 2019 D1NZ Drifting Championship. Run to 68, improvement on for Cole Armstrong. Let's get ready for this next warranted and registered road car / D1NZ Pro Championship vehicle. Big shout out to the team from Two Rooks. And he is getting ready to be dispatched. Comes to the compulsory stop and has been told you are right to go. Joel Patterson We know that he likes to pick up a big score. He's not as high up as he'd like to, but let's see what he can do as he finish off the second half of the battle, of his qualifying. And, well, we start with hitting a cone. And it's going to be a 0 and a 0. So the qualifying results, top 10. In 10th place, Matty Hill from Australia, 71.5. In 9th position, Darren Kelly from New Zealand, 72. From there we go to Andrew Redwood in 8th position, Liam Burke in 7th, Ben Jenkins in 6th place, Ben Wilkinson in 5th, Dave Steedman in 4th. From there we go to 81.5, Carl Thompson in 3rd, 83.5, Adam Davies. And in 1st place, driving the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5D by Castrol New Zealand, and Century Batteries, 2 times New Zealand Drift King, congratulations, 84 points, Fanger Dan Woolhouse. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today for the second round, day 1 of the second round of the D1NZ National Drifting Championships here at Max Motors Family Speedway. Of course, a big thank you, the Thunderdome, thanks to NZ Vapor. Don't forget, come back tomorrow. We've got the Pyro Company Fireworks Extravaganza to finish off the night. On behalf of Brendan White, myself, Steve Daniel, we say thank you very much for coming along to the Speedway to check out this drifting action. We look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow. If you have been drinking, we ask that you grab yourself, not a lime scooter, but a taxi or a safe ride home. And we again look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow.